and get ourselves going. Those that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting before, mine are referral marketing guru. Really, what every business, we have always run our businesses through referral marketing, through partnership, through being able to do things with other people. And I've had, they're all settled, really getting other people to help us work. There's two ways of being able to do business. There's help and find people yourself that are qualified prospects and then sell to them. Or there is other people put qualified prospects in front of you for you to sell to them. And I know which one is the easier way. And that's how we've grown every one of our businesses, is we've worked with people to be able to get qualified prospects to us so that we can then talk to them. So that's what we're going to go through today, how you can actually be doing exactly the same thing in your business to be able to start getting in front of more people. So we're going to work through what the referral process actually looks like. Too many people don't understand that there is actually a process in place. If you don't follow the process, then it's not going to work. So right now, you go to networking events or you're a part of particular groups and you're not really getting too much happening, because you're missing out on pieces of the process. So we'll go through that first, because that's the starting point. We're going to get to making sure you understand your current network. And how do we get your network to pass your business? How do you actually build a referral network? How do you use a simple 7-minute plan? And then we're going to finish off with why 99% of referral relationships fail generally in the first 60 days. And there's 3 main things, and how simple they are to ensure that it's not going to be able to happen to you. Get ourselves going. I want you to just write down for me, what's the hardest part about getting referrals? What's the hardest part for you? By all means, use the chat box. Love webinars to be interactive. So use the chat box. Put it in the question box. What's the hardest thing you think about getting referrals? Is it not finding the right people? Is it that you find people but they don't do anything with you? The hard part about getting referrals. Use the chat box and put it down, or else hopefully you can pen and paper, just put it down there so you can see on the end of it that it might not be as hard as what it is right now. So the hardest thing that you find in being able to get referrals, write it down. Next thing is, how many referrals do you get for the month of December? Some of you might have only worked half the month. So maybe you've got to put it down for November. But roughly, how many referrals do you get? Write down that for me too into the little question box. Write that down. Good. We're starting to get some numbers through. It doesn't matter what your number is. Now, your number is your number now. What we need to know is how to improve that number. Okay, great. Getting some great answers. How many referrals do you want to complete? Okay, so you've written down what's the hardest part. You've now got how many referrals do you get roughly on average. Now I want you to write down what number do you want that to be. Okay? And again, doesn't matter what your number is. So what I want you to have a bit of a think about is, if you need 5 new pieces of business as an example, and you know you convert at 50%, well, then you're going to need 10 referrals. You're going to need 10 new opportunities to convert at 50% to get. And you only convert at 20%. Well, then you're going to need 500. So that's the way I want you to think. Just, well, I'd love 4, but then you only convert 10%. So really you're only getting 1 every now and then. Start thinking about how many referrals do I need because I convert at this sort of percentage rate, and that will give me the sorts of numbers that I'm looking for. Because I'm sure the active people we've already got here, you've already done your plans for 2016. So you probably see converted 100%, which is brilliant. Brilliant. Okay. So the next thing is, roughly how much is it costing you going to an event using various marketing strategies where you get real results or traction from them? How much do you reckon that's costing you? Put down a number. I don't need to know the number. Just put down what that number is for you. Why I do this? Because you need to know where you're at. If you don't know where you're at and you get improvement, well, you won't know the improvement. So you've got to have a starting point. Then you can say 6 months versus starting point. What I've done is getting into this session today. We're moving pretty fast. Got lots of content. Through if you don't I'm going to the referral process. To me, so many people think that if I know what you do, I should be able to pass business to you. That's why start with actually being able to build relationships with them. That relationship will allow you then to be able to see who are the right people and who are the wrong people. But even more importantly, the right people will actually start listening to you. Think how many times have you been to places where you've started talking to people and you've gone, I know you're not even interested in what I'm saying. Because we know our favorite topic is ourselves. So when you start on a personal level and you start building trust with people, you can tell, and it opens up their ears to actually wanting to find out more about you. If they're wanting to find out more about you, then they're also going to want to actually help you. So we've got to start with the trust level. If you're going to just go and ask someone to do something for you without having the trust level, how likely is it that they're actually going to do that for you? Not very high. So after trust, we then get into knowledge. Now we can start talking about what we do and how we do it. I tend to go with knowledge around telling them the sorts of problems that I solve and then the solutions that I have. So it might sound like something like, so do you know how most people tend to spend lots of money on marketing that doesn't tend to give them the results they want? Well, what I do is insert the solution. Because when you explain that, they're either going to be interested in what you do or they're not. And either way is fine. At least if they're not, you're not going to waste 10 minutes talking to them about what you do when they don't really actually care. So we then get into the knowledge part. What is it that we actually do? Now, for most people, that's where they stop. They go, well, great, you know what I do. You should be able to pass the business when someone comes along and says that they need that. No, because I don't know how to pass you business. So these next two I'm going to put together. You've got to be able to talk to your referral partners, to people in your network around how you help people and the solutions that you offer. So I call this the training aspect. Because if we don't train partners on how to help us, how are they going to really be able to help us? You're just hoping that someone's going to come along and be able to do something for you. So I'm going to touch on the training part a little bit later, but this is a key part in the referral process for you being able to actually get proper referrals. So for all those people who said, what's the hardest part? And they were writing in their little statement saying, not getting people to do things for me. Well, that's not their fault. That's our fault for not giving them the tools, the resources, or the knowledge on how to find business for us. So we have to flip that and take responsibility for, if we're not getting referrals from people, I always look back at, have I done a great job of building trust with them? And if I've done a great job of that, have I done a great job of training them to find referrals for me? And most of the time, the answer to that will be, no, I haven't. Okay, so once all of that takes place, now the referral can actually be given, the opportunity can be given. So for most people, as I said, they go from knowledge to referral, and they miss out 3 of the initial steps. Most people go, well, this is what I do. You should be able to pass the referral, nothing else. And they wonder why they get a referral here, there, and every blue moon. If you build the trust, you then explain properly on what you do, you train your partners on what to listen out for, the types of services you offer or products you offer, how they can introduce it to their network. You give them all those tools and resources, and as I said, I'm going to go a little bit later into that. Now the referral or the opportunity can actually be given to you. But it doesn't stop there. Because after that is given to you, there are 2 more steps that keep this cycle going. And the first step is, we've got to evaluate every opportunity that is given to us with the person who gave it to us. Because to me, that's ongoing education and training of our partners. So what I do with partners is I frame it at the start. Every time we pass each other an opportunity, let's quickly jump on the phone and just quickly talk about it for a couple of minutes so we know that we're on the right track. So it might be, hey, thanks for that, but they're just too big for us, or they're just too small for us. Well, that's perfect. And by having that conversation, you are continuing to train and stay front of mind of your partners. Then you've got to give thanks. Well, that makes sense. We all know that we should thank people when they do something good for us. But no, it's more than that. Are you thanking people the right way? Are you thanking people the way that keeps the cycle going and builds more trust? Or are you thanking people your way but actually killing the cycle? Here's the example. So I've used this, and sorry for those people who are on here who have heard this many times before, but the story is, give me movie tickets, I'll say thank you, but I haven't gone to the movies for at least 7 years, plan not to ever again. It's boring to me. I can't sit there for 90 minutes. My mind's racing. I want to be doing different things. Movies are boring. Take this, can we go to the movies? Oh, not with me. Let me stay with Soph, and you go with whoever you want to go with. So that's thanking me, but it's not keeping the cycle going. Compared to, I use a story where we've got a partner who was a helicopter, just got their helicopter license, gave them a Cinta IMAX, a 3D cinema, where they're in the helicopter flying in and out of caves and up and down hills and all the rest of it. They came out of that, Michael, that's the best thing I've ever done in my life. Thank you so much. Now, that type of thank you built more trust. It continued the relationship. Funny enough, they found a whole bunch of opportunities for us pretty much a month after. Not why you do it, but you do it because you want to thank someone the right way. And so that's the process that we need to know. And every single time when someone's not working for you, it's because one of those steps you've overlooked or you've missed. Let's keep on going to our network. So right now, you have a network in front of you. I call your network anyone who's in front of you. Your social media platform, your clients, your prospects, your past clients, your family, your friends, your staff, your contractors. Everyone who's around you is part of your network. But your network is broken up into different types of people. So unfortunately, right now, the majority of your network are going to be with what I call the NK people, the not known people. These are people who are in your network, they know your name, there's not much of a relationship taking place. They're not really going to be able to help you. They're not really going to be able to help you because they've already forgotten you. So they're the low people in your network. Then we move to the known people in your network. They know your name, they know what you do. There's probably a little bit of trust. You've spoken to them maybe once before, but there's no strong relationship that's been going on there. So I put a picture of LinkedIn there because that's probably what most of your LinkedIn contacts are. People who you might have come across once before, but really, you don't really know them real well and there's not much of a relationship there. So those people are probably only going to find a referral for you every blue moon. Then you've got A people, action people. These people know you, like you, trust you. You're probably speaking to them at least every 90 days. And if the opportunity came across for them to refer you, they definitely would. They're your action people. Then you've got opportunity people, O people. These are your best. These are people who know you, like you, trust you, are walking billboards for you, and will go out of their way to create opportunity for you with the people in their network. Now, when you think of your network right now, you might not have many A or O people. That's fine. You can improve that. There's some simple things we're going to go on the next slide, which you can do to get more front of mind. The key here is you need to understand how powerful your network is, and not everyone in your network is at the same level of liking you. And that's not because they don't want to like you, that's because we haven't engaged with them. See, the key of having your network pass you business is the more front of mind you are of these people, the more they'll actually do for you. If they don't ever see your name, then they've already forgotten you. I say it takes about 45 days for someone to completely forget you. So if you're not front of mind as often as possible, you're forgotten. And if you're forgotten, your business is forgotten. So it's up to you to ensure that you're constantly front of mind of your network. So here's some simple ways. Now, in the end, we were about 33 different ways that you could be front of mind of your network. Here are 7 of them, 7 real simple ones. Well, there's nothing to stop you sending personal messages to people in your network. So that might be a personal email message. It might be a personal how are you phone call. It might be a personal social media message. It might be a handwritten card. There's 4 simple ways of being able to stay front of mind through personal messages to people in your network. You could promote, announce, tell your network how good someone else is in your network. So, for example, you might hear from someone in your network that they've got a big event coming up. Great. Announce it to people in your network. Put it on your social media. Maybe you could invite some people along to it. That gets you front of mind very quickly. Maybe someone in your network has just done a tremendous job for you. Well, tell the rest of your network about it. These days with social media, it's so easy to be able to let lots of people know so quickly. So let me just use this as an example. And this is how you feel. So this morning, I don't know, 9:15 or so, a couple of hours ago, and I had someone who on their Google+, on their LinkedIn and on Facebook gave us a shout out about this webinar in terms of a great thing to be able to come on to if you're free at 11:30. They didn't have to do that, but already I'm constantly for 2 hours been going, how can I help this person? Who do I know that I might be able to pass it to this person? What could I do to help this person back? That's just how reciprocity works. So if you think you're doing that 10, 15, 20 times a day, well, now you've got 10, 15, 20 more people thinking, oh, what can I do to be able to help you? I really appreciated what you just did there. And it's just so easy to do. It doesn't cost us anything and literally takes a minute to be able to do that. So think how you could be doing those sorts of things. Could you be displaying literature for that particular person? Could you be inviting people in your network to different events you're going to? It doesn't matter if they don't turn up. It's the act of inviting that makes them feel special and remember you. Connecting people in your network. So I'm huge on connecting at least one person in my network with one other person in my network that don't know each other. Do that every day for 30 days, and you'll be amazed at the momentum that gets created of people doing things back for you. How could you collaborate with other people in your network? Have you ever thought of collaborating with clients? Have you ever thought of collaborating with prospects? Every single person around you has a network around them. It's not hard to get into it when you have a partnership mindset. If you're thinking purely, how do I make the sale from this person in my network? Well, that's fine, but you're missing out on so much more opportunity because that person might not ever be a sale. But they might have been a great partner. So you've got to be seeing your whole network as sell, partner, and door openers, not just as sales. Jump onto your social media and like, comment, share things that people in your network are putting up. Again, such an easy thing to be able to do. So all of those things get you front of mind of your network. The more front of mind of your network, the more opportunities your network will create for you because they are remembering you. There's no rocket science in that. That's just a matter of understanding simple front of mind principles. Okay, let's keep on going. So how do you actually build your referral network? Okay, so I'll just put down here, pretty simple step-by-step guide on building your referral network. Firstly, go into your network and find roughly about 10 people to speak to about being referral partners. Now, only 2 or 3 of them are going to be a right fit. So find about 10 to be able to get 2 or 3. So what you want to do, look in your network. So remember, that means your social platforms, that means your database, that means all the people that you've met at different events, everyone around you, and have a look at who would be a good fit to be a referral partner. Now, what I tend to look for is who has the same sort of target audience. So do we have similar sorts of networks that we want to be able to sell to? Do they have the time? Do they have credibility in their network? They're some of the little things that I'm looking for before I ask someone. do they have a mindset of wanting to help others? There's probably 4 things that you want to think about before asking somebody. After you have identified that 10, 11, 12 people, now you want to have a conversation. Now you want to be able to actually go and ask them. So that's pretty simple. I'm looking at being able to build some referral partners for 2016. I was wondering whether you'd like to explore us being referral partners and getting each other some more business. That's as simple as the conversation is. That it's either yes or no. And either way is fine, because you only want people who are serious that you are to be able to work with anyway. So we've had that conversation and we've got up two people. The next thing you need to do is have a conversation with them around what does that referral relationship look like? Because you have to be on the same path. This is where so many people, they start referral relationships and they already die within a matter of weeks because they have 2 different perceptions or ideas of what that referral relationship looks like. So you have to talk about it. So with my referral partner, we have a scheduled 15-minute call every single week, no matter what. We have a set agenda that we go through in terms of how do we connect people to new people, how do we do activities for each other. So if that's my perception of what a referral partner is, and someone else is, well, let's just catch up every quarter and we'll just sort of see how it happens, and I'll pass people who say that they're interested in referral marketing. Well, we're a complete mismatch. There's no way that that relationship can last because we have 2 different meanings of what the referral relationship looks like. So for a lot of you on the call, you probably have to go back and have that conversation with your referral partner so you end up being on the same page. Then you've got to train your partners. I'm going to touch on that at the end. Because if you don't train your partners, then they don't know how to identify opportunities for you. And then you've got to create action plans. I'm going to touch on that at the end and go through how to do that also. Then you've got to communicate no more than a fortnightly length. If it's every month, if you communicate weekly, you're always front of mind of each other that you're going to create opportunities for each other. If you can't do it weekly, then it needs to be at least fortnightly. And then you repeat that exact process until you get 4 or 5 good partners to work with. You're not going to be able to handle more than 5 good partners if you're going to speak to them weekly to create opportunities. You're going to have so much opportunity that you won't need more than 5. So they're the steps to go through in terms of building this referral network that you're looking for. You already have people around you. And if you don't have people around you, jump onto LinkedIn, jump onto Facebook, into different business groups or the groups where your people are, and start sending people messages. So you don't have to know them right now. There are so many ways that we can touch base with people without physically actually meeting them to explore the opportunity of having referral relationships. It's just a matter of sending a message. So if you've got a network, look in there. If you don't have a network, that's fine. Jump on a social media and start finding people who fit your referral relationship sort of model, the sorts of people you're looking for. Okay, we've gone flat out there for nearly 35 minutes. So let me check in with you guys. What's been the most valuable so far for you? Write it in the question box. And also, if you need anything clarified, put it in the question box and I'll try to get a couple of them answered also. I only want to spend probably 2 minutes in this quick little break, get your breath back, so that way then we can get on to the next part. So type in what's been the most valuable for you so far, and also what any questions? Yeah, good training, educating your referral partners, step-by-step process, great. Structure of having communication, yep, brilliant. Staying front of mind, yep, perfect. Making sure your partners are aligned, so true, so true. Yeah, building trust first before asking them about their business, good. Yeah, nice one. Looking carefully at my network and identifying at what level are they at. Yeah, good one there to finish off. Not all referrals work, and it's fine to move on. Yeah, so true. Yeah, great. What sort of thank yous you're giving? Yeah, good. So just about everything so far has hit a chord with somebody somewhere. So brilliant. Okay, lovely. Let's keep ourselves going. Remember, if you've got any questions, keep them, because I'll give you my email address and you can just email them through, and I'm more than happy to be able to answer your questions at the same time if we don't get things covered for you. Okay, so let's get into this 7-minute plan. These next two sections are things that we do all the time. In fact, it's nearly just about the cornerstone of us starting so many conversations and having so many opportunities every single day. So the things I want you to understand, right now, you currently have hundreds, if not thousands of people in your network that you don't speak to, that are just there. Think about how many Facebook fans do you have? How many Facebook friends do you have? How many followers on Twitter? How many connections on LinkedIn? What's your Google Plus page look like? How many people have you met at networking events where you've taken their cars and never said anything to them? How many people do you send a newsletter to when you've got time that don't hardly open it? When you start thinking about all those people who are around you, you've got a lot of people around you. You also currently have thousands of possible partners who could help fill your sales funnel for you that you're not talking to either. No matter what type of business you're in, you have thousands of groups, fan pages, handouts sitting across all the social platforms where your target audience currently sits. So imagine if you were to work with those group admins to be able to then talk to all of their people in the group, how quickly would your sales funnel be full? Right now, you probably have hundreds of referrals just waiting for you if the other person knew what you wanted. So they're the three things I need you to be clear on. Now, it doesn't matter that that's what it is. What matters is we get to change that. And we get to change it by speaking to people. So we spend at least 7 minutes, and no more than 10. 7 minutes a day sending individual messages to create these opportunities with other people. And this is what I mean. So we have a message to be able to send our LinkedIn connection, a personal message. So we go onto LinkedIn, we find 10 people in our connections, and we send them this personal message, which goes very much around, like I'll just use example, Alan, you're up the very top there, so I'm just going to borrow your name. So it might say, subject line, hope all is well. Hi Alan, was just thinking of you the other day, thought I'd drop you a line and say hello. We'd love to know what you're up to. Chat soon, Michael. How easy is that as a message? And what we're trying to do here is start conversations. We're looking at getting back front of mind. So you could send that message to your LinkedIn connections. You could send that message to the people who are on your Facebook, on your Google Plus, on your Twitter. Spend out of the 7 minutes, 3 minutes sending 10 messages personal messages to people on your social platform. Then you could spend another minute sending 10 personal emails to people who are on your database. Same sort of message. Then you're going to spend the remaining 3 minutes on social platforms finding the groups and the pages where your target audience sits and sending a message to the admin about how you might be able to create a partnership together. There's 7 minutes. You in that 7 minutes would get close to 30 messages out, because it's all copy and paste and change the name to make it personal. So you sent out 30 messages in the day, 150 messages in the week, 600 messages in the month. You've got to have good stuff coming back, even if only 50% actually responded. Take that even lower, even if only 10% responded. There's 60 new opportunities, open new doors, talk about business, talk about opportunities, talk about partnership, talk about being able to help each other, just from 7 minutes a day. So let me go through that again. That was sending messages on social media to our current connections, fans, friends, whichever platform you're on. That was sending personal messages to people who are on our database. And that was sending partnership messages to people that you find on social platforms. Makes it really simple when you spend 35 minutes of the week to get close to 600 odd conversations taking place. Okay. Let's move to the next part. I said at the start, 99% of referral relationships fail because of these 3 things. And we touched on them a little bit earlier on, but I want to really get into it. The first reason why so many referral relationships fail is because people don't train each other. And when I mean train each other, I mean actually sit down and train one another on how to generate business for each other. Now, we do that through a thing called our referral training manual. And the next slide will show you how you can have that manual. And it's like a 10-page document, which we sit down with our partners and we train them on how to be us. We train them on what to listen out for. We train them on the programs that we're running. We train them on the contact sphere that we'd like to be introduced to. We train them that if you can't find us a referral, not a problem. Here are another 8 different ways that you could help us. We train them on who we are. That's at the very start, the trust elements. So we're not creating and saying, oh, here it is, I hope you read it, because we know people are busy and that they won't. It's actually scheduling time to sit down and go through the manual with people. And it's about going through that manual and updating it as often as it's required, so that people completely understand and really have become duplicated to you. So that it's like you've got now a whole bunch of yous walking around out there listening for and creating opportunities for you. That's a training. That's the extent you have to go to with partners if you're going to have partners being able to create opportunities for you every day. The second reason why everyone fails is because they don't continue to communicate with their partners. For most of my partners, I speak to them about it every second day. There's one partner I speak to at least probably 3 times a day, because we're always creating things. So if you're not speaking to your partner at least every fortnight, you've been forgotten. So the communication aspect is so important to keep you on track. Do you set weekly goals? If not, I hope so. Well, when you set weekly goals, what does it do? It keeps you focused on what it is you want to So when you speak to your partners weekly, it keeps you focused on what you want to achieve. So communicating with your partners is so important. Creating referral action plans. So before I was on with you guys, I was on a Skype call to one of our partners in the US. Good 30-minute conversation because we were catching up for the new year, realigning and we're getting refocused on everything that each other was doing. But by the time we had finished, we have a list. So January, Michael's going to do this, this, this. My partner's going to do this, this, this. In February, they're going to do this, this, this. We have the whole first quarter now mapped out of what each other is going to do for one another. We now send that off to each other. It now sits up on the wall where all our partner activities are, so we can see very clearly what is the action plan. If we're doing things and not creating the action plan where the follow-through happens, you're going to find that we're going to miss out on opportunities because things aren't going to get done. So we've got to make sure that once we've trained them, once we're communicating with them, we actually have plans in place for each person to follow. Now that might sound quite structured, but it also means that you're going to get stuff done. And what I think is most important is that you get results. It's about getting results with your partner. And if that means that you're going to be really structured to get results, then that's what I think you should be doing. So there are things that are key to why referral relationships fail. So if we don't do anything else out of this webinar, but concentrate on making sure that you do those three things right, you're going to have success. And that's what's important. Now, training your partners is really important. So I've said that multiple times. If you go to this site here, yeah, you need to opt in for it because then it gets sent to you automatically. This has my referral training manual on it as a Word document. So all you need to do is then receive the automated email, which will have the Word document on it, get the Word document, remove my text, but keep all of your keep all of the sections, the headings, and create your own manual. Now you can do that within 30 minutes. So if you're looking at how do I train people properly, make sure you get the manual, so that way then it's going to save you an awful lot of time and effort to be able to get that done. Okay, let's just get a couple of questions. James, write it in here. That's the easiest way, so I don't have background noise of taking people off mute. Anyone else with any questions? Quickly just write them in. Let's just spend a minute or two getting some questions answered, and then we will bring this together. Okay, so anyone who has got any questions for what I've just gone through about the 7-minute plan or the 3 mistakes in the training manual, just write them in, and I will, or in fact anything else of course, I will get that answered for you. If you have other questions, then the best one is email me at Michael, M-I-C-H-A-E-L, at michaelgriffiths.com.au. I think you also get a thank you email from GoToWebinar. So you could just reply to that thank you email and that'll come through to me. Paul, there is no cost for the training manual. It's a Word document that I've created that I use. We'd love you to use it too, because then we have more people with the right mindset, the right idea out there, and that only has to make our business world in Australia, or in fact anywhere around the world, so much better. So please take the manual as a gift. Okay, so let's bring this together. If I was to go, great, I've got a whole bunch of things in my head, and I really need to be able to get a plan in place. I've got no idea where to start. What do? I would concentrate on the following. I'm just going to pause that there because now I have James' question and then I can come back and concentrate. So quickly, James, not a problem with the webinar. My question: with the people you're sending personal messages to on your database, does it matter that the person is a prospect rather than a potential referral partner? Great question. Definitely not. It's amazing that right now you have people on your database that are pretty much everything. And really, everyone's a prospect. The more you actually build relationships with them and not just sell to them, you'll find the quicker they actually buy. So very rarely do we actually sell to our database. We're more interested in keeping relationships, staying front of mind, because then we know when they are ready to buy, we're the only logical choice. Because we're the only ones who have stayed front of mind and kept the relationship with them. If you're only ever sending sales messages to your prospects, eventually they're going to get sick of it and they're going to go away, and you hope that that doesn't happen before they've bought. But at least 80% will not have bought from you. Versus if you keep relationships with everybody, well, you're going to keep an awful lot more people, and in the end you might only lose 20% of people rather than 80%. So hopefully that helps you there, James, in terms of what we do and the thinking that's behind that. Spot on. It's all about the relationship and the conversation versus anything else. And you'll be amazed by opening up these simple conversations of how are you with prospects, they'll actually come back and go, oh, well, in fact, I was actually just thinking of you the other day. We need to have a bit of a chat because I need your help. So it's amazing how many times that happens just through having conversations with people. Okay, thank you for pausing. Let's come back. So if you're going, what do I do? What do I concentrate on for the next 2 weeks of January to really get me going? This is what I would be doing. I would be, one, looking at your network and going, who are people I could speak to about being true referral partners? And your end outcome is that you want 2 true referral partners. So you might have to speak to 10. You might have to speak to 20. However many you have to speak to, get 2 true referral partners. That's the first thing I'd be doing. The second thing that I'd be doing is that I would be having and starting to implement my 7-minute plan and having conversations, opening up conversations with everyone in my network. That would be the second thing I'm doing. You can create simple message templates that you just copy and paste. So that doesn't have to be very time consuming at all once you've got those templates. You can probably even get it done in 5 minutes, not 7. So that's the second thing I'd be doing. Third thing that I'd be doing is that I'd be going and creating partnerships with people who have groups, who have pages, who have the same sort of target audience that I have in my network. So have a look in your network and go, who else has the same sort of target audience as what I do? And I'd be speaking to them about creating some sort of partnership with each other. They're the 3 things. If you did just concentrate on those 3 things, you will see huge momentum taking place very quickly. And that momentum will then create new opportunities for you. Okay, so what I want to be able to do here is I just want to introduce you to something that we've just created for this year. So to me, this becomes quite easy when it is all systemized. When you've got the system, you've got the process, you've got the templates, you've got the checklist, you just know what has to happen. So 2 ways you can do that: work it out and create it yourself, or you can get what we've been doing for the last 5 years and pretty much just put it into your business. Now, what I'm sharing here, there are a lot of businesses this isn't even close to being right for. So don't think that this is the be all and end all. You might not be ready for this. But if you are around needing a partnership referral system in your business, then we have our partnership creative intensive. Okay, so there's a link there purely to see what it's about and apply for an interview. Because I'm only doing this with 5 people in any given month. That's it. Because it is me working with you, and it's me pretty much putting every one of our systems into your business over a course of 12 weeks. So it's 12 weeks intensive. It is purely make it happen. So if you're still not sure, not a problem, but this isn't the type of program for you. The Partnership Creative pretty much has 8 modules that we work through. It has tasks that we need to get done before the next week, and it creates everything that I've been talking about, plus obviously a whole bunch more. It's about people who want to be doing cross promotions every single day with other people. It's about people who are wanting half a dozen true referral partners that pass them business every single day. It's about people who want to sell products and services through affiliate programs. It's about people who want to be engaged with their network to the extent that they're getting 10, 15, 20 opportunities every single week. That's the sort of level of person where this program has been aimed at. Okay, so again, if that works for you, perfect. Pop over onto that simple site, referralmarketingguru.com.au/partnership creation. See what it's about, and if you think that it's something you're interested in, all you need to do is fill in the form to get an interview. I'll have a talk to you about it to make sure that A, you're ready for it, and B, we can actually do what we need to do to make you a success. So in the meantime, thank you so much for joining us. It's been great to be able to have so many people with us for our first webinar. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of different things throughout the year, all on referral marketing and partnerships. Remember, shoot me through any questions that you have to michael@michaelgriffiths.com.au. You can always find out more at referralmarketingguru.com.au. And as I said, if you think the partnership intensive is something that you're ready for to kickstart your year, then head on to that particular link and have a look what it's about, and ask for an interview if you really think that your business could really benefit from something like that and working one-on-one with myself. In the meantime, have a brilliant rest of the day, have a lovely weekend, and go out there from Monday and really make January a great partnership month. So until next time, take care everyone. Look forward to chatting to you soon, and I will catch up with you shortly.